Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life Community Calendar at ncwlife.com.
It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our very wet weather window this afternoon. And we did see some clouds roll in late this morning. Showers developed then after lunchtime, and we are seeing that as we look down at the beautiful Columbia River and the Wenatchee Valley. Dark clouds now hanging over us, and we will see that for the next couple of days. Let's take a look at the big picture, what we're expecting today and into the weekend. There's a large area of low pressure up in central Canada that's spinning all that cold air down into the northern tier states of the U.S. At the same time, we're seeing moisture moving in from the Pacific, and the combination of the cold air meeting that moisture, we will see rain, which will change over to snow. In fact, our snow levels as we make our way from today into Saturday, that's right, in Wenatchee, 1,854 feet will be our snow level. And notice up north around the Winthrop area, 700 feet, and also around 700 feet for Omak. Tell you what, driving will be a little bit treacherous around the state this weekend, and we will talk about your complete weather forecast a little bit later on. And for those watching on our Facebook, tune in to LocalTel Channel 12 or Charter Channel 19, or you can stream us live at ncwlife.com for the full evening newscast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. 3 local firefighters assist on the wildfires in Northern California. Fire Chief Mike Burnett works on an incident management team in Puerto Rico, and the future of recycling looks grim amidst a looming ban out of China. Later on, we'll have sports, your weather forecast, and our feature story today. But first, the calendar says November, but it looked more like August yesterday as scores of firefighters rallied to a late-season wildfire in the Monitor area. Fueled by tinder-dry conditions and a stiff breeze, the fire spread to an estimated 700 acres of grass and shrubs on the hillsides east of Monitor. These images were captured by Sky-Fi Wireless Internet, whose cell tower was threatened for a period of time yesterday afternoon. All Level 1 advisories had been lifted by 8 a.m. this morning, and fire managers say they expected full containment by this evening. With 2015's wildfire fresh in their minds, 3 Chelan firefighters headed to Northern California to assist on fires burning more than 100,000 acres, tearing through vineyards and neighborhoods and claiming the lives of 43 people. Firefighters Adam Jones, Troy Keene, and Lieutenant Dale Rodman shared their experiences with GoLakeChelan.com.
Well, to be honest, Jillian, in 2015, when we had our Chelan Complex fire here, we had a lot of help from around the country, including a lot of guys from California. So I think all of us were pretty excited that we'd had the opportunity to head down there and help our neighbors in California, our fellow firefighters down there.
The town that we stayed in for majority of our trip in Kenwood, that department just rolling in a week after the whole event, they still had that look in their eye. They were definitely tired, and we've been there before as a department and a community, so we had a close understanding of what they had actually gone through.
I mean, I've never seen that kind of destruction. And I mean, it's full neighborhoods. It was insane. And there's just nothing left. And there was cars burnt everywhere. What was left of cars, everything. There was nothing that was left standing. And the neighbors that were burnt.
I think we kind of already covered, though, our own experience here in Chelan kind of maybe prepared us a little bit, but as Adam said, it was on a scale we probably had never seen before, and to see that, yet the Californians, the citizens down there, as well as the other firefighters, were very supportive, and it was pretty amazing the support. Every day when we left fire camp, there were people lined up on the street waving at us, and when we were walking around homes, people would always come out and talk to us and thank us, and it was so that helped a lot. But definitely, you can't help but feel bad for those communities and their loss that they suffered. And you can find that full interview at GoLakeChelan.com.
As Chief of Chelan County Fire District 1, Mike Burnett has seen his share of tragedy during his career of battling structure and wildfires in the Wenatchee area. But it pales in comparison with what he's dealing with now as a member of the incident management team involved in disaster aid to hurricane-ravaged Puerto Rico. Burnett is deployed by FEMA to help coordinate recovery efforts, and he spoke with NCW Life's Steve Hare about the experience.
Well, part of that incident management team is primarily doing wildfires, but the teams are designed to go to any event of what they call national significance. And this was one of those cases where they recognized the need. We had some skill sets that would be able to help out with the Puerto Rico emergency management, coordinate with FEMA.
How long have you been down there?
It's been about 5 days now. It's a 2-week assignment, and depending upon how well we do, they may extend it by rotating in other teams to carry on our mission.
Obviously, the images we're seeing out of Puerto Rico are a complete devastation. Give us your perspective on what you're seeing there.
Well, fortunately, we're not here right after it. It's like 45 days post Hurricane Maria, and they're starting to get back power in places, but there's still a significant amount of devastation that's very noticeable.
You've seen your share of damage from wildfires, and I guess the biggest one here would be the Sleepy Hollow fire. How does this compare?
It's just a wildfire is more localized. This is the entire island. So our team is assigned over on the west side of the island, and the 3-hour drive from San Juan, Puerto Rico, to where we're at would normally be maybe an hour-and-a-half drive, but there's no traffic lights. There's power lines and trees down alongside the roads, and it's so much more widespread.
My goodness, any message you want us to share with the folks back home?
I understand we had a wildfire there yesterday in November 1st. It's one of those kind of years where there's a lot of emergencies, and there's a lot of people that are out trying to help those residents and citizens that we're charged to protect. So I appreciate everyone's support, and we'll do our best.
Chief Burnett says he's scheduled to return to Wenatchee on November 14th. Chelan County Fire District 1 is looking for a few good men, specifically a few good firefighters. Bob McGee, volunteer coordinator and safety officer with Fire District 1, says they're looking for 3 types of volunteers.
Well, we're looking for volunteer firefighters. We're looking for resident volunteer firefighters as well. And third category that we'd be looking for would be support personnel. Our main focus is on the volunteers. With the short amount of resources that we have in the valleys here, we're always recruiting for volunteers. And we have a process that we go through. In January, we start doing a volunteer recruit academy, which lasts about 4 months. And then if you're interested in being a resident volunteer firefighter, we have a regular fire academy that we send you through starting in September. And what that consists of is the fire department paying basically for your education at the Wenatchee Valley College for an Associate of Fire Science degree. And we pay for all the tuition and the housing and a meal stipend for that. It's a great way for a person that's looking for a career in the fire service to start out and get their education.
McGee says anyone from the community 18 years and older can volunteer as either a combat or support volunteer firefighter. For more information, call Bob McGee at Chelan County Fire District 1 at 509-662-4734. Coming up, we continue our series of candidate profiles. We'll take a look at the issues that are worrying local recyclers, and a forest health bill passes a House vote. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise. Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you're all set. These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Hi everyone, Brent Crowder here at Town Nissan. Come on down to Town Nissan and help us celebrate the best-selling SUV in America today, the 2017 Nissan Rogue, along with its big brother, the Nissan Murano, and the beautiful Maxima, and the all-new Nissan Titan, and the all-new Nissan Armada. Come down and see us and see why we are the fastest-growing car company in America today. Come down and see us at Town Nissan behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Has voted to approve legislation aimed to prevent future catastrophic forest fires. The bipartisan bill was co-sponsored by Congresswoman Cathy McMorris Rodgers and 4th District Representative Dan Newhouse. In her floor speech in favor of the bill, McMorris Rodgers addressed the need for changes in U.S. Forest Service management policies.
The Forest Service has warned us for years that the forests are in terrible shape. And it's really a result of decades of overregulation, frivolous lawsuits that have hindered forest management, and we're paying the price. I represent the Colville National Forest, which is about a 1 million-acre forest. It's really the engine of our economy in the Northwest, because what happens on the Colville National Forest determines whether or not we have Vaughan's Lumber or the 49 Degrees North Ski Resort or the biomass facility that Avista runs, converting wood waste into electricity. This is all providing jobs, energy, recreational opportunities. Yet mills have been closed, jobs have been lost. It's unacceptable. It's time to pass the Resilient Forest, federal forest legislation, and I yield back.
The legislation would allow the Forest Service to thin the trees in forests up to 30,000 acres using a shorter environmental review process under the National Environmental Policy Act. The Forest Service could more quickly pursue what are known as forest management projects, in which the agency removes dead or dying timber and then sells it to mills, and they can use the proceeds to care for the forests and make them more resilient to wildfires. The measure has now been advanced to the U.S. Senate. Did you know China was the biggest buyer of recyclable plastic, paper, and metal from the United States? Many Washington recyclers are biting their nails as China will no longer take recyclables from the U.S. starting January 1st, giving the industry a grim-looking future. According to the Chinese government, Beijing notified the World Trade Organization that it plans to ban the import of 24 varieties of solid waste and will turn away any recycling with containments more than 0.3%. Brenda Blanchfield with Chelan County Public Works says the new regulations put an already struggling industry in a precarious situation.
Yes, we are having problems, not only just from our state budget cuts, but also the China screening or ban is going to affect us. We're not really sure how that's going to work out. It's kind of all just come to the surface now in the last hour, and there doesn't seem to be any national work or any additional screening of recyclables to make sure that the contaminants in going to China are improved. They want a 3% contamination tolerance. Ours is probably more like 15 to 17%. So we're a long ways off. We really need to keep the food contaminated products out of the recycled stream. People want to recycle everything, but it messes it all up. And we have a real problem with people then you have people that just want to dump their garbage in the recycle bin somewhere, and that just messes everything up.
As far as a plan for the future, Blanchfield says local markets should be expanded with manufacturers who process recyclables as the state continues to grapple with budget cuts.
Solid waste, recycling, hazardous waste is looking pretty grim as far as how we're going to, control it or even move into the future. I anticipate in January we're all going to be like holding the bag of material and nowhere to take it. It's kind of like at the transfer stations. We were asked if we could shut down for some paving work, and it's like, how do you turn that tap off? The garbage is going to keep coming in, and we can't just turn it off. And we need help from the federal and the state Department of Ecology to get the word out and educate people on how important it is to keep your recyclables clean and within the requirements that are accepted. I guess we're all kind of waiting to hear what kind of help we can get to abide by those contaminant levels.
And in other news, as we continue our look at area political races, tonight we're focusing on the race for Wenatchee City Council Position 4 between incumbent Keith Huffaker and challenger Adam McDonald. Keith Huffaker is 56 years old and has been a city council member since 2012. He is the project manager for Awida Americas and is the chairman of the board for Rivercom 911, serves on the board at the Chelan Douglas Health District and Chelan Solid Waste. Huffaker says his goals as a council member are to keep local taxes low while maintaining public services, helping the homeless, finding solutions to affordable housing, maintaining streets, and improving traffic flow. Adam McDonald is 33 years old and is a world and U.S. history teacher at Wenatchee High School. He has an English degree from Gonzaga and is the treasurer for the Wenatchee Education Association. McDonald is a first-time candidate for political office and says he feels that the new vision and views are needed to give new life to Wenatchee. He hopes to draw new jobs to the area, improve housing, and promote community outreach. Tomorrow, we begin our look at the 3 open positions on the Wenatchee School Board. You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, your sports update, followed by today's feature story. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
Bay Equity Home Loans in Wenatchee, serving all of North Central Washington. We make it our priority to learn all about your financial needs. Whether you're buying your first home, refinancing, or want a reverse mortgage, our mortgage professionals are ready to guide you through the loan process. We have a wide variety of loan products to fit your family's needs. Call Bay Equity Home Loans of Wenatchee today for your pre-approval. 509-888-0466.
So, how you guys doing?
My job starts in Portland in a month.
Can we find a buyer that fast? I think we're good. Our CBX app tells us who the best potential buyers are. We can pinpoint where the hottest prospects are located, right on this map.
2 cities over.
It even lets us set the most accurate price. Wow, it really does all that. It really does all that.
Well, help us pack?
We're working on that.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy day before the weekend. Congratulations to the Wenatchee Panthers. The Wenatchee girls won their first ever district championship Wednesday by downing a very tough West Valley squad 2-1. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen had the call here on the NCW Live channel.
Curtis, the chipper to the top of the box. Interesting maneuver, the header. Pass to Ortega. Let's see what happens here. Goal, 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 goal. 2 minutes, 10 seconds into it, and coverage of the district championships here from the Apple Bowl. The shot and the stop bounces off in front of the goal, 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 goal.
That's that dribbler I was talking about that the keeper has a tendency to give up, and we crashed that goal.
You called it, Matt, absolutely, and we're tied at 1 apiece. Shot. Escobedo.
This looks good.
Nice,
right
the dangling ball. Left foot, the shot. Goal, 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 goal. Wenatchee takes the lead. 25 minutes, 30 seconds left in the second half. What a shot into the box, nowhere in the vicinity. And that is the whistle that indicates that the district championship belongs to Wenatchee. A final tally of 2-1.
Wenatchee advances to the first round of the State 4A tournament and will face the winner of Saturday's match between Chiawana and Lewis and Clark. That'll be next Tuesday in the Apple Bowl. As we look at the Les Schwab Prep soccer scoreboard from last night, there you have it. Wenatchee's 2-1 win. Meanwhile, Eastmont was at Moses Lake trying to also advance to the state tournament, but the Chiefs would have none of it as Moses Lake scored 3 first-half goals en route to a 4-0 win. The Wildcat season comes to an end. Moses Lake will travel to West Valley for a last chance to get to state Saturday in Yakima. On the Les Schwab Prep volleyball scoreboard last night, Eastmont won its play-in game against the Davis Pirates to advance to the Big 9 district tournament. I was courtside and I've got the whole story. Eric, take it away. The Eastmont Wildcats hosted the Davis Pirates on Wednesday night in a volleyball play-in game here at Eastmont High School for a chance to get to the district tournament on Saturday, and Eastmont would defend the home court, winning 3-0 after a tough opener, winning it 25-21. Eastmont would settle into a nice groove and take the second 25-12 and the third 25-19. A good night for Rebecca Hall up front as well as Alondra Mendez as they help the Wildcats advance. But a good night here at Eastmont for the Wildcats as they take down the Davis Pirates and end Davis's season with a 3-0 win. From Eastmont High School, I'm Eric Granstrom for the NCW Life Channel. Thanks, me. Eastmont advances to face Eisenhower Saturday at 2 o'clock. If they beat the Cadets, they'll play the loser of the earlier game between Wenatchee and West Valley for the district championship for a final shot to get to the state tournament. The Wenatchee Wild locked into a high-scoring affair north of the border in Trail, BC last night. Trail jumped out to a 4-1 lead after the first. Wenatchee closed to 4-3 before Trail added another shortly before the second intermission. The Smoke Eaters added 2 more goals to start the third and went on for the 7-5 win. The Wild will host Powell River tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the Town Toyota Center. Our checker will join Dan tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Houston took most of the drama out of Game 7 of the World Series early by scoring 5 runs in the first 2 innings and holding on for a 5-1 win and first ever championship last night in Los Angeles. George Springer doubled and scored in the first, then hit a 2-run homer in the second. He was named the series MVP. Congratulations to the Houston Astros, World Series champions. And I was rooting for Houston, too, so it works out for me. That's sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. Next April, a $120 million bond will go before voters that would pay for the renovation and expansion of Wenatchee High School. On Wednesday, the Wenatchee School Board, along with School Superintendent Brian Flonis, gave area business leaders a tour of the high school and a presentation on plans for a new remodel of the aging high school. Bond supporter John McQuaig gave attendees a peek at what the high school might look like if the bond is passed.
You can see the 3-story building in the back there where that's added. And so here's looking at the, where the existing sign is, and so that's the green room, mariachi room, and the auditorium. This is a plaza that's developed on Miller Street, and so that's the area where there's classrooms presently that would ultimately be torn down, and so that creates kind of a student plaza out there, a really nice nice area. It gives it more of a campus feel on the entrance for sure. And there's another shot of the plaza. There's the 3-story addition. And one thing to remember is that what the facilities team has done is put together a budget and a kind of a schematic plan, but obviously this is going to be refined and finalized, working with the administration and working with the community and so forth, figuring out what you actually need to build, and it may look obviously somewhat different than this, but the overall concept hopefully will probably stay about the same. So how it's laid out and so forth would be another question. There's a new library, classrooms that's looking to the east. There's an interior plaza, which you presently have an interior plaza, but it's not exactly a plaza. It's kind of rough out there, but that would get a lot of improvements to it, and so it'd be a nice space in the center of the building.
The renovation would increase available space by almost 60,000 square feet and would include a new kitchen and common area and a remodel on every classroom in the facility. If the bond were passed, Wenatchee taxpayers who own a $250,000 home would see their property tax increase $292.50 per year, or around $24.38 per month. We'll be back in just a moment with the recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Hi, I'm Lonnie Boucher, attorney and owner of EstateEdge.com. If you found yourself incapacitated, do you have a durable power of attorney for financial and healthcare needs? A durable power of attorney allows you to nominate a person, an agent, to act for you and make decisions if you are unable to do so yourself. EstateEdge.com is your online resource to obtain these and other estate planning documents. For your protection and peace of mind, go to EstateEdge.com today.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks, so bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
For North Central Washington, and let's get right to it. An incoming weather system will impact our area later today and last through the weekend, bringing heavy snow to the mountains and the northern valleys through Saturday. As the cold front moves through, our temperatures will cool down almost 10 degrees tomorrow, with highs only in the lower 40s. Another storm system is expected Sunday, which has the potential of producing valley snow to locations south of I-90 and in the Cascades. Here in the Wenatchee Valley, around an inch of snow is possible Saturday night, with another 1 to 3 inches of snow possible on Sunday. Higher elevations in our state could see 1 to 2 feet of snow by Sunday night, making travel on area passes very hazardous. A little quieter weather pattern is expected for Monday and into early next week, but temperatures will be very cold with highs 10 to 15 degrees below normal, with readings next week only in the 30s. Let's take a look at that forecast now, and we will cool down once again overnight tonight. Probably see some scattered showers as well. 32 our low, maybe a stray shower or two on Friday and 43. Kind of a quiet day Saturday, at least during the day. 40 for our high temperature, 28 the low. And then Sunday, a good chance for those snow showers. 34 is all for our high, 25 our low. And then we'll jump back to 40 on Monday, dip back down into the 30s on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then maybe even some more snow in our forecast by the time we get into the middle of next week. Well, if you missed the changing colors in Tumwater Canyon this fall, you're in luck, because thanks to ABC News, here's a condensed drive through the beautiful Upper Valley. And if you have a video of the day you'd like to see on NCW Life News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, tune in to NCW Life channel Monday, or I should say tomorrow morning, for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz and all the latest news with Steve Hare. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life channel on Twitter.
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.